Yeah. You know, the only reason I want a Series X is for the back compatibility.
I need to get a PS5.
Well,
Just,
you know...
Just straight up, I need a PS5 for all the games that are coming out next year. I need it.
Like, God of War Ragnarok's coming out. Oh, but you didn't even like the last one, so it doesn't matter.
I'm talking about, like, Spider-Man and Star Wars Survive and Hogwarts Legacy. That looks pretty dope, and... There's... Okay, Forspoken gets a lot of shit, but I think the game actually looks kind of cool. It just... People rag on it because, like, it has really cringy dialogue.
Like people say the Sonic games have? I don't know.
More... Specifically
I don't know what
with,
you're
like,
talking
it was
about.
one of the... Do you remember that one game that we talked about during, like, the PS5
It's a penis.
showcase? Huh?
Did you see the penis? Had, like,
No.
hearts for testicles? Never mind.
No. I was looking at my own penis.
Jerking off during the playthrough again.
I mean, are you not?
And I've got my pants firmly sealed up for the time being.
You wear pants?
Yes.
Oh. Oh shit, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah,
Here's something that kind of annoys me. They locked the increased wind bullet trajectory to easy mode, when that should just be something they do anyway. I don't know why that's just not a standard feature.
I mean, technically having it be longer makes the game easier. I can see...
There's a problem I just ran into on the slope, where not having a longer trajectory means I can't get the thing unless I jump over it, turn around, and get it. So I think it's just an objective improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're getting at. I think having a way to play the game more like the original is, like, at least in theory,
Well,
a
it's
good
good,
idea.
but why is the thing just not a toggle? It's locked to a difficulty mode. I hate when games do shit like that. Just make separate options, for fuck's sake.
Like when fucking that classic Sonic collection that came out this year, where, like, you can have widescreen like unlimited continues is tied to widescreen. So you can't play the game
That's exactly what I
traditionally.
mean. Is like, why do that kind of shit? It's just annoying.
Yeah. I just remembered that I think this game got ported through Unity. I was watching one of our older... I was watching, like, the last part of our Sonic Heroes playthrough. We were talking about engines and stuff, and this is before I had gone to school for that kind of stuff. I'm just like, wow, I was way wrong back then. But yeah, this game was ported through Unity. So, fun fact. I'm not sure if it's like a full remake or if they just, like, tried to, like, jerry-rig the original through Unity. I'm not sure exactly what they did, but I want to say the Master Chief Collection is ported through, like, Unreal Engine 4 or something. So it's fairly common. So they're talking about Claire the Ancient. Claire is the goddess of Lunatea, and she purged herself of all evil, and that's when she became a goddess. So keep that in the back of your head, y'all. That's kind of
Those
like
fuckers in the background.
I hate
No one ever
them.
pays attention to these things.
Destroy them, King.
I can't.
Fuck!
They're beyond my grasp.
I wanted one thing.
I don't know why. It doesn't even matter. Never mind.
Good call. I respect it. Thank you.
So, we're coming up on something that I hate. It's called the Mirror Fairy,
I hate this thing too.
where it's like, and it will only bug you if you're going for 100%. Where it's like, in order to get, I think there's like roughly a total of 150 Dreamstones in each level, which are the
You
green.
can technically get more
Yeah.
through the fairy if you do certain things correctly, but yeah.
But in order to get those one, basically the Mirror Fairy like doubles the value of the Dreamstones you pick up. Which means that in order to get 100% in the level, you need to get the Mirror Fairy and then plot a very specific route through the Dreamstones nearby and make sure to get all of them within a very small time limit. And if you don't do that, you won't get 150 on the level.
Yeah. And that's something I will never do in my life, because I love this game, but the Dreamstone shit? Fuck that. Not doing that.
Yeah.
That's just cumbersome. I'll get all the fucking Mamet dolls or the villagers from 1, but not the fucking Dreamstones. That shit's annoying.
Like, oh. Looking back, I'm trying to remember how bad it was in the GBA games. I don't think it was as bad. Because I think there were only like 50 Dreamstones in each level. There were more levels, but they were shorter. I really like the GBA games, by the way, everyone. If you haven't played them, they were on Wii U, but the Wii U shop's down now, I think.
I think they could have put them in this collection.
Yeah, just
I
emulated.
think it's a decent deal already, but I don't know why they didn't just put those in here too. They're both translated already.
Yeah.
They may as well.
It's weird because, like, I want to say Dream Champ Tournament came out in, like, 2003, like a year after the first GBA one, but then they didn't, like, translate it for, like, another 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
Is that person evil?
No, she's the High Priestess of La-Lakoosha. I think that's what it's called. She's
It's one of the first times the priest character is not evil off the rip.
Wow. Oddly refreshing. Okay, cool.
So, Lolo's character is, she's the klutz with the heart of gold, and she's training to become a priestess. She's currently a priestess in training. But because she was able to ring the bell at the beginning of the game, when we were in the Sea of Tears, she is being promoted to priestess, which is what that feather is. So she's gonna work with Klonoa to save the world. Which means that this is like one of the few games in the series where Klonoa's ring is powered by someone other than Hupo.
Yeah, and they sort of just... It's funny that Klonoa just walks in here, and Lolo's like, okay, I'm gonna get in your ring now, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And they just kind of go with it.
And it's also funny because in the later games, they don't even bother to explain where his Wind Ring's power comes from.
Yeah.
Like in Empire of Dreams, it's Hupo. Hupo's just there for whatever reason. But then in Dream Champ Tournament, his ring just works, and there's no explanation for it. Same for the RPG, whatever it was called, Klonoa Heroes.
Yeah.
Which recently finished its translation, by the way. So if you guys have been eyeing Klonoa Heroes...
Yeah, there's a English patch now. It's
Yep.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I have not had time to finish it, as big of a Klonoa fan as I am. I got through like an hour of it the other day, but I have it on my computer. I can play it on my Steam Deck if I want.
It was the subject
pretty
for
cool.
one of my best reviews, in my opinion. Not to yank my own dick or anything, I'm just saying. I think it.
Yeah, that's my job.
But I'm wondering if I were to review that game for the first time today, now that there is the patch, because I gave it a lot of leeway because I couldn't read any of the text and had to work with outside sources to understand what the story even was. But like now that it's fully translated, I'm curious if I would, you know, be harsher
I'm gonna
on
let
it.
us listen to this for a few seconds, because this is one of my favorite parts when it goes to the save screen. You kind of miss that you're supposed to be like putting... It's sort of like a bookmark kind of on a page system, because these games are like... They chronicle them like they're stories in a like journal, because they're dream stories. So it's like... I think one of the coolest things about these games is that they're real stories, but like whether or not they really happened is up to your interpretation. Whether they're more metaphor than reality is also kind of up to your own interpretation. Like, is this like a place that Klonoa is going to, or is it a thing that he's doing in his mind? And I don't mean like a MatPat game theory kind of shit. I mean like this is like a genuine thing I think they want you to read into.
Somebody
and think
send
about.
the Pope a copy of Fantasy Reverie.
Yeah. Well, there's genuine arguments that this game is just Klonoa dealing with trying to leave Hupo behind and what that means for him, you know?
Yeah, that was my interpretation all the way back when I first played it. You can get more into that later, but
it's also still a satisfying story in its own
Yes.
right, even without those interpretations, which I think is just the best of both worlds, really.
yes. Because there are games that go for metaphor in like visual metaphor where a lot of it's not literal. And it's more about the themes than it really is about...
Speaking of themes, by the way, this is one of my favorite themes. The Leorina theme. I love it. She's also one of my favorite characters.
She looks pretty cool.
She's a Sky Pirate with her sidekick Tat. And she also is after the elements. She's doing an Eggman treadmill thing. Anyway, I really like what they did with the health bar in this remake. They look really cool.
Yeah, they do. If you're good enough, you can get that while he's spinning.
Yeah,
that anime is
cool.
how I feel after Taco Bell.
I would not be so quick to want to go into the stall. I had Taco Bell for lunch. Super duper. Which I think is the mark of a good boss, when you can design it in such a way where, like, there's an explicit intended way for a first-time player to do it, but if you're good enough, you can do it faster.
I think the boss in this game are excellent.
Yeah.
I love them.
Kind of like
There's a lot
Kraid
of
and
shit like
Metroid
that.
Dread, right?
Yes. Well, that one's a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit
a lot
different.
like, yeah.
Kraid's more like you get an easy win button if you go out of your way.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing.
Ooh, and it's like I had.
Oh my god, that
tried-
is like Taco Bell. Expelling gas too? Ah!
When we were at the hangout, I popped in Dread again after I went through another run-through of Super Mario Sunshine, of course. And I'd completely forgotten how to get the bomb early before Kraid. I had to like look it up. It's gonna be a long road before I'm anywhere near run worthy for that game.
I played that game like 10 times when it came out. I think actually 20 times, more generously. I think I could go back and do that route again that I had developed with all the sequence breaks.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I think more intersubjectively speaking, Dread's like a fantastic game. But it's like the more I play it, like, I appreciate that all of those sequence breaks are in the game and that you need skill to reach them. But like the game is so big, like I haven't really played it enough where I've like fully memorized the level layouts and can do that stuff from memory quite yet.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a big commitment to learn all of that compared to some of the earlier games. But I'm not sure if that's because the earlier games were shorter or because I've been playing them for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we got one of the elements. I want to say La-Lakoosha is the kingdom of tranquility. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, let me think about that, yeah. Because there's, yeah, it's tranquility, yeah.
So like
So
each
just
of the kingdoms have like sort of an emotion or an approach to life sort of associated with them. And La-Lakoosha is the kingdom of the priestesses. And tranquility sort of implies stoicism, asceticism, staying within oneself as an approach to day-to-day life. So keep that in mind, y'all. That might represent something, maybe.
Yeah, and of course it's where all the religious weirdos hang out.
Yes, so it's the most, what would be the word, spiritually driven of the Lunatean kingdoms?
Yeah. But then that's one of my favorite things about the game too, is that it uses that not only as a story device, but also we're about to go to a new kingdom which looks entirely different from the rest of the fucking place. So like each kingdom has its own like atmosphere, I guess, and like its own kind of tone to the soundtrack and the visuals and shit.
Yeah.
And it does a great job representing each emotion. And it's not necessarily like...
There's the Jay's Reviews thing.
I see it!
Yeah, see, look at that. It looks...
Jay, where you at?
It's the same colors. Oh, man.
You think Jay of J's has played this game yet?
No,
You should.
he hasn't. I don't know if he would like it. Maybe he would. Hey, Jay, if you're watching this, you definitely aren't, but...
Wait, I know how to summon him. Hey, so Klonoa's feet, right?
pretty sure
Did it work?
Jay seems like the most asexual man I've ever met. No offense or anything, I'm just saying. He doesn't seem to be outwardly sexual in any way. So I don't think talking about feet's gonna reel him in.
Man.
That's true.
Well, can't blame a man for trying.
You should have said that his feet look like Sly. He might come there.
Hey Jay, there's a raccoon under that hood. And he's a thief.
And he hits things with a cane because I know what Sly Cooper is. I know what he does. That's what he does, right?